What's up, everyone? In this video, another true crime one. Love my true crime. Pittsburgh man charged with murder of his second wife, then his first wife. It happens more with wives killing their husbands. They married like 5 times and like 4 of them die mysteriously. They're undetermined. Anyways, probably wondering what the boxes are for. It's to cover out the light. Yeah, that's how poor I am, really. I don't have money to buy, like, I don't know, green screen or whatever to cover out the light. But I do whatever it takes to make videos. I love making videos, and I'll do whatever it takes. So let's get to this video. This creep, this monster. Pittsburgh man charged with murder of his second wife, then his first wife.
For a city its size, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania has always had a low crime rate, especially in the suburbs. While most big city police departments are swamped with cases of rape, robbery, and murder, the caseload for the cops in suburbs like Ross Township is decidedly lighter. So in November of 1994, when the cops got a call from paramedics telling them that they had found a woman dead in her own hot tub, they had no reason to suspect foul play.
Our community, homicide is a rarity. We might have a homicide every 10 years here.
November 6, 1994
Doesn't
started
matter.
out like any other Sunday for Tim and Marianne Buskowski.
Anything's possible.
After church, the couple ate a quiet dinner and put the kids to bed. According to Tim, he and his wife watched a movie and then went out to the hot tub to have some drinks. At 12:48 a.m., the phone rang at the home of Susan and Wesley Semple, the Buskowskis' friends and next-door neighbors. It was Tim. He said there was a problem with his wife. Immediately, Wesley Semple rushed over to the Buskowskis' house. In the backyard, Wes found Tim standing next to his hot tub. Below him, in warm, roiling waters, was the lifeless body of his wife, Marianne. Tim told Wes that after a few minutes in the tub, he went upstairs and took a shower. But Marianne stayed in the hot tub and, according to Tim, continued to drink. An hour later, Tim returned to check on his wife. That, Tim told Wesley, is when he discovered her floating face down in the hot tub.
Supposedly they both had some wine before they went into the hot tub. And the glasses were sitting outside by the hot tub. But she was sitting in the hot tub. Her head was above the water. She was a dead weight.
While Tim was telling Wes Semple what happened to his wife, Wes was trying to pull Marianne from the hot tub. But instead of helping out, Tim made a phone call, not to 911, but to his parents.
Why didn't Tim
Unable
pull her
to
out?
lift Marianne out of the hot tub by himself, Wesley Semple waited on Tim for nearly 5 minutes. Then Semple called 911 himself.
I started realizing it's odd. Why was I talking to 911? Why did he call me first? You don't call a neighbor and your parents, then you call for the paramedics.
Exactly.
Moments later, emergency rescuers arrived at the Buskowski home. As the paramedics went to work on Marianne, Tim went inside, changed his clothes, and came back to the hot tub carrying a jug of wine.
The paramedics were out on the deck with her.
Do you love Gantt charts? Here's
No.
how easily you can build one in ClickUp.
He runs over to the refrigerator, pulls out a big jug of wine and said, Marianne drank half of this. And then he went to tell also that she drank 13 beers that night. And I just thought that was real strange. Why did he pull out the wine and show everybody that that's what she had been drinking?
It's like you're
About
trying
the
to
same time the cops showed up,
prove
Tim's parents did
how
too.
she died.
That's when things got truly bizarre.
Tim was in the kitchen and his mother and father walked in.
And his mother seemed almost agitated. She seemed angry, and she said to him, "What happened?" And he began to tell her about her drinking. And they had this quarrel. But then they had made up, and everything was okay. And then he came back outside a short time later and found her unconscious in the hot tub. And during this discussion, he got very nervous, and he said, "I don't want any of them trying to pin this on me." And she was lying on the deck just a few feet away, and they were attempting to revive her, and he was talking about, worrying about if this
I would be like
pin
bawling.
on him.
This guy just supposedly went through found his wife dead in the hot tub. He's supposedly devastated. Not him.
A good husband
him.
would be like crying and
cool,
like, oh my God.
Calm and collected. I didn't see any emotion with this guy. I'm like, where's the tears?
No remorse.
Where's the devastation?
No
here?
remorse.
It's not there.
After talking to Tim, Waters decided to check out the hot tub where Marianne is supposedly drowned. Like Tim Buskowski, it too seemed a little off.
Inside the hot tub, her glasses were on the bottom. Her hair tie, girls get in the hot tubs, they put their hair up. That's floating. The thermometer for the hot tub is broken in half. There was a white handkerchief in the hot tub. That definitely rose suspicion there.
And those suspicions were aroused even further when homicide detectives learned of the autopsy report from the Allegheny County Coroner's Office.
Cardiac
This girl
arrest.
had trauma to the head, to the back, her legs, and her legs were all black and blue. There was internal trauma to the top of the head, a lot of trauma around the neck from strangulation when he was trying to kill her.
But none of the physical evidence was as compelling as a bit of
guy's
circumstantial
ugly.
evidence the cops got from Tim Buskowski's
Fat
own
face,
father.
balding.
All the hustle and bustle with the paramedics had just sort of subsided, and I said something like, "What a shame that these 3 children are upstairs, and in the morning they're going to find out probably that their mother has passed away." And the neighbor said to me, "Well, those are not her children. She was their stepmother." And at that point, the father said their mother's deceased. And we said, "Well, wow, when did that happen?" And he got very nervous and sort of agitated. And he said, "Well, she died under similar circumstances."
The cops let Tim Buskowski go home for the time being. They needed a few days to sort through all the evidence before they officially charged Tim with murder. While prosecutors were getting all their ducks in a row, Tim Buskowski remained a free man. He kept a pretty low profile, until Marianne's funeral, that is.
He rode in the limousine with Pat and Lou and John, Mary Ann's parents and brother. Tim sang every song. He never missed a word on all the prayers. He was a very, very
What a
beautiful
sociopath.
Catholic, which was a very hard thing to be under those circumstances, but he managed to do it. By that time, we all believed that he had murdered Mary Ann.
While Tim was playing up his good Catholic boy stick, the Allegheny County DA's office was busy prepping their case against him.
What a monster.
On November 15th, the DA doled out the indictment, officially charging Tim Buskowski with first-degree murder. But then, just 2 days after Tim was indicted up in Pittsburgh, news came from North Carolina. The Guilford County DA had learned of the indictment in Pittsburgh and reopened the investigation into the death of Tim's first wife, Elaine. 2 days later, prosecutors charged Tim Buskowski with a second count of first-degree murder. News that homegrown resident Tim Buskowski had been charged with killing both of
This
his
man
wives
deserves
went
the
through
death
Iron
penalty.
City like Jerome Bettis on Third Down and Short.
It definitely shocked me. I never thought I'd
He would have got.
know a murderer.
He would have killed
I
again.
used to have this man over to my home. I used to send my kids over there with him.
He would
used
have
to come
killed
up to
again.
our cottage and spend
He
the
would have
weekend
got
with us. And
married.
I had my kids around this murderer.
And murder
I never thought in a
them.
million years I'd ever meet anyone that was a murderer.
On October 21st, 1996,
He would have kept on
the
doing
state
this.
versus Tim Boskowski for the murder of his first wife, Elaine, was scheduled to begin. And as Tim Boskowski headed south, so did his luck. In a 180-degree decision the other way, the judge in North Carolina ruled that the details of Marianne's death could be admitted as circumstantial evidence in Elaine's murder case. With the similarities between Marianne and Elaine's deaths laid out for the jury to see, their verdict came quick. On November 1st, 1996, they found Tim Boskowski guilty of first-degree murder. They sentenced him to life in prison. But he didn't stay locked up in Carolina very long.
Oh.
Boskowski was shackled up and put onto a plane bound for Pittsburgh.
My name is Max Martin.
Why does there have to
I'm
be
a
so many
professional skier
YouTube
and a
videos
holistic health coach?
for a 13-minute video?
The jury in Pittsburgh
11-minute
ruled the
video.
same way their counterparts in Greensboro had. On May 6, 1999, they found Tim Boskowski guilty of first-degree murder. After reading the verdict, the court adjourned to decide whether Tim should get life in prison or the death penalty.
The death penalty.
They
He's a
promised us to put
sociopath.
emotion aside and make a decision based on the evidence.
I don't
He-
think he deserves the right to walk.
If he was out,
Never again.
he would kill
The
again.
next morning, Tim Boskowski was sentenced to death by lethal injection.
Yes.
Got exactly what he deserved. In my eyes, he's a cold-blooded killer, and
He would have done it
took away
again.
2 lives. And he affected so many other lives. You know, the families, the friends, the children.
Today, Tim Boskowski sits on death row in a maximum security facility in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania.
You know, what goes around comes around, and it caught up to him. You know, this guy's killed the first one.
He's a
He walked the
sociopath.
streets for 4 years, laughing at the system. And he thought he was smart enough to kill the second one and get away with it. But just didn't work out that way this time.
His attorneys are still appealing his case, and Tim Boskowski still maintains his innocence. Justice in Tim Boskowski's case does have its downside. The 3 children were left parentless, out 2 mothers and a father.
I feel bad for them. They're good kids. You know, and Marianne loved those kids more than anything, and I think she's watching over them now. I really do.
I mean, if you're trying to get away with murder, show remorse at the crime scene. You're trying, just feet away from you, paramedics are trying to work on your wife in the hot tub, and you're in the kitchen, you know, being agitated and telling, you know, taking out wine and showing, yeah, my wife drank half of this, not really showing any remorse or talking about, oh my God, is she gonna make it? How's she doing? Oh my God. He's a sociopath. He's a psychopath. No remorse. If you're gonna kill someone, do a better acting job. Show remorse. Don't try and prove how this could have happened. I mean, think about it. If you find your wife in that stage and paramedics, you know, and police come over, would you be like trying to tell the officers how you think she died, or she had this much wine and this, or would you be like crying, like, oh my God? Because I would be bawling. I would be like, no, this can't be happening. This can't be happening. No, this can't. Oh my God, please. Survive, live. Anyways, take care. Be safe. Peace.